Welcome back. We are talking about the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And joining me in studio is Nyambura Gathumbi, who is the program manager at HIVOS East Africa, who is at the farthest left, and Eunice Waweru, who is the director of Workers' Rights Watch. Now, when we went on a break, Nyambura, we talked about society and how it is, women feel like it's all right to persevere through this cases, but let's not forget that it trickles down to the children. You will have a son, you will have a lady, a girl child, and these children will grow up knowing that it is right, to batter your women, it is right to be battered. How can we handle this?
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, we need to start that conversation very early. At home, when the children are still that very young, that they grow up knowing that it is wrong, that it is not acceptable. Because there are a lot of studies that have been done that show that actually children who grew up in violent homes, most of the times end up being violators themselves. Why? Because, they were taught from when they were very young that it is okay and it's acceptable.
Yes.
So we need to start from that point, that we are raising children who know different. Because if you look at women, even those who really stick in very, very abusive relationships, it's because when they want to live, for example, you are told in our times, like you go to women your mother's age and they tell you that is nothing. Being slapped around is nothing. Yes. What are you talking about? You need to stick there and raise your children. You go to church, Eunice just said what happens in church. The preaching, you are told God hates divorce and all those things, and you have to protect your marriage. You don't expose your dirty linen. And so you cover up, you grow up covering up a lot of things to a point where now it becomes, it becomes part of you.
Yeah.
But what we are saying is that, what if we do it different? What if we target children when they're in school?
Yeah.
Like even go to kindergarten where your children go to school during parents' meetings, ask to talk, to have a talk with parents about violence, about why it's not acceptable, whether it's between men or women or generally, like train your children different ways of dealing with things so that they grow up valuing each other and knowing that they can do other things different, that they can dialogue. That way you are more likely to succeed, because when they grow up with that attitude, it becomes a bit difficult for them to change when they are older. But if they grow up normalizing it, then it becomes part of them. And then it becomes a whole societal problem, because your children grow up like that, mine. It's a society of abusers and violators. So, and it becomes very difficult. That's why you go to the police and they are like, what are you coming here to report? That is normal. Yeah, we have other serious issues to deal with. Yeah, a case is filed through the courts, and if you don't follow up, actually you have to really be vigilant, make a follow-up and ensure the processes are happening. Because the moment you don't, then that case is forgotten. And you will not hear any outcry. It's very rare that you hear, unless it's a serious case like what we are hearing about gang rapes.
Yeah.
I'm yet to hear, for example, a case of domestic violence, unless it results in death or very serious injuries. I'm yet to hear public outcry around such kind of things. A lot of times we are like, that's normal.
Yes.
We know it. It happens.
All right, I am being told Monica Chege from Nakuru, who is a victim for 15 years, is on the line. Monica, good morning. Please share your experience.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Please share your experience.
Sorry?
Please share your experience.
I have been a victim baby girl for over 15 years. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Please continue.
Yes, I was a victim for over 15 years. I got married in 1988. Hello?
Yes, please continue.
I remained in that abusive marriage for over 15 years.
Yes.
I used to report to the parents, my own parents.
Yes.
They would comfort me and call the man, and we speak it out, and I would be taken back home.
Yes.
I go to his parents when the things get really worse.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to a point, they really became annoyed.
Yes.
And they told me, now you keep on reporting about this matter. We are all suffering the same.
Yeah.
The mother would tell me, even the old man, his own dad,
Uh-huh.
was exactly the same.
Yes.
And so I had nowhere to turn to.
Yes.
I was, hello?
Yes. Yes. Continue.
And also being a minister in the church,
Mm-hmm.
the church really tells you to get silent about it.
Yes.
I can remember this wonderful pastor of mine,
Yes.
in fact, a very good man,
Mm-hmm.
and I almost feel if I was the pastor, I would still have advised someone the same,
Mm-hmm.
publicly, but differently in private.
Yes.
Because when I went to him,
Mm-hmm.
he used to tell me, you see, people have a lot of hope in you,
Yeah.
so don't speak out your experience,
Yeah.
because watu wanaonaga kama umebeba Mungu na mabega yako mwenyewe.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of when you speak it out,
Yeah.
watu watapoteza hope. So I kept on burying it within my heart
Yes.
until this one day
Yeah.
I went to Kampala.
Yes.
When I came back at night,
Uh-huh.
and he was out.
Yes.
So when he came back, he was not expecting to have come back.
Yes.
So in kind of, I don't know what it was, because he came violently, picked me up.
Yes.
I lost my 2 teeth.
Yes.
I incurred a broken limb
Yes.
and a fracture somewhere at the nostrils.
Yes.
So I was taken unconscious to the hospital by neighbors.
Yes.
And I also recorded the statement with the police sometimes later when I left the police.
Yeah.
And we started a legal pursuit in court.
Yes.
But when we are still in process,
Yeah.
this issue about the church
Uh-huh.
sometimes really does not bring out the true picture of how you are supposed to handle these things.
Yeah.
I kind of started feeling for them that I had an issue in court where I ought to have gone to my knees. So I decided to withdraw the case when it was 2 years old in court.
2 years. Yes.
But now I decided, although I'm going to withdraw the case,
Uh-huh.
I withdrew the case to save his own parents from the trauma
Yes.
and to maintain a good relationship with them because they also used to suffer.
Yeah.
But I made a decision personally. I'm withdrawing the case.
All
I'm
right.
forgiving him,
Yes.
but I'm not going back to the marriage again.
Yes.
So we went to the OCPD and I was asked to sign a document that he admits that he has done those things because he had a lawyer whereby he was denying the case. But when he heard that I'm going to forgive him,
Yes.
he later admitted.
Uh-huh.
So I'm out of the hoop.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes,
And
I can
this
hear
is
you.
this is what I would advise every other woman.
Okay. So as of now, you are not married to this particular man.
Sorry?
As of now, are you still married to the same man?
No. It would not work. Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you there, Monica Chege from Nakuru. Our next caller is Rajab Abdul Kadir from Nairobi. Rajab, good morning. Thank you for joining Weekend Express. Please talk to us.
Morning to you, Ashley. And indeed, I'm getting you very well from Nairobi.
Yes.
I'm so much privileged to hear such conversation in our national television. I'm privileged I have worked with the GBV subcluster, that is the Somali GBV subcluster, but I'm based here in Nairobi.
Yes.
And the issue of gender-based violence has been observable in the recent days. And actually, I attended one of the workshops, Inter-Agency Standing Committee training.
Uh-huh.
And the issues that come out leading to this gender-based violence are mostly lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, and mostly lack of female staff to serve these victims of the gender-based violence.
Yes.
So it was my urge that at least the Ministry of Gender in Kenya can coordinate with the National Police Service.
Yes.
To come up with or to give training to these police officers, because I remember one of the victims who said that she went to the police officers and they told her, go to the hospital. At least with this training of the police officers, they can know what next, yeah?
Yes.
When a victim goes to them, they can know what are the referral pathways and all that.
Yes.
It's also my urge that these organizations working with gender to at least come together with the media to educate people so that in case of gender violence, what are some of the pathways that this person who is a victim should follow to be able to get at least some help? Because I remember in Somali, for the 16 days of activism right now, what we are doing is coming up with the workshops, training, coming up with the men, women, girls, police officers, talking about these issues of gender-based violence. These women will be able to know when in case of such a thing, where is the next step? Where do I go directly? I remember sometimes early this year, I did a comedy. I involved in a comedy concerning the same, whereby a woman was coming with her 14-year-old girl. Came to a police officer. The police officer told her, go somewhere else. And she was just moved around without getting any assistance. So at least the issue of these organizations dealing with the female issues. At least these organizations coming up with the issues to do training people, at least using the media to enable people know of where specifically can they go to get assistance in case of such issues can really help a lot to end or reduce these gender-based violence issues.
Thank you there, Rajab Abdul Kadir from Nairobi. Ladies, I will start with Monica. Finally, she got out of the marriage. But then she raised a very important issue of parents. Parents have a big role to play in such issues. Personally, if I am battered, I expect my parent to come and defend me. Your thoughts, Nyambura, on this?
That's the expectation, but it doesn't always happen. And again, it's about what does you being in marriage mean to them? It means, the society will see them as successful. They have raised a daughter who is now married, is doing well, is raising children. So that for them, it's in their interest that you look successful. And you should be happy in your marriage. So when you start saying, I'm not happy, I want to get out, so the first thing they start considering is that how will that make us look? Or where do you want to go? You want to get out of that marriage, and then what? Because also there are also parents who will look at you as as a burden. Like, you get out of your marriage, you have children. Who do you expect to take care of that of your children or your family? But it stems from that lack of appreciation. Like, human dignity is not for sale. I'd rather have my daughter with me struggling than have her, in a situation where she's seemingly wealthy or doing well, but she's suffering, she's hurting inside. So, we need to get to that point where people value dignity, human dignity, and rights of others better than money, for example, or better than how you will look in the eyes of the society. So, you should expect, I think you should expect that your parents are your defenders, and they should come through for you. But they won't come through if the society makes them look bad when they come through for you. Because, I mean, if they will, people will start saying, oh, look at her daughter, she tried marriage, she died. You know, those kind of things are what we are saying, that we should be able to get the society to accept certain things, that I can stand up as a parent and say, I refuse for my child, my daughter, or my son, whoever it is, to live through pain just because I want to look good in the eyes of the society. Yeah.
Okay, Eunice, Rajab Abdul Kadir raised a very important point about lack of enough staff who are trained for such cases, which to me, I think it goes all back to the issue of gender equality in, you know, workplaces. Do we need to have women at the police who will deal with such cases?
Gender-based violence to start with begins with men and women. Let's not ignore that.
Yes.
We have GEC, we have Gender Commission, that is a constitutional body that was established by the Act of Parliament to address issues to do with gender.
Yes.
We also have judiciary, which is also very crucial. When the cases are taken by police to the court, how are the judges and magistrates dealing with these cases? Because it also motivates. If a case is taken and somebody is jailed, and it goes to the public that you can be jailed if this happens. We also have Sexual Offences Act. Is it working enough to address gender-based violence issues? Having said that, then, I would say that we need to come up together with the government and the judiciary and the gender and the civil societies that are dealing with women, come up with systems that will innovatively address gender-based violence at large. Because workshops, as I've heard from the last caller, workshops will only attend to 100 people per annum, for example, because effective workshops will address 40 to 30 people. Are they able to disseminate the same information to the wider community? That has been a challenge. The other challenge, so how do we then be able to reach a wider community? And we cannot ignore the role of media in this, because for free, pro bono, if we feel that we want to use KTN to address issues that can reach a wider public, then you can also chip in as media. Having said that as well, then I would go to the issue of saying that the major challenge that I encounter in addressing issues to do with gender-based violence, even if they're taken to the police station, the question of witness and a penal code. Who is willing to be a witness? Because you don't want to be blacklisted in the community as well. You are battered, I'm your friend, and I know really you're battered, but I'm not willing to be a witness to your case. So again, it's a major challenge, because there's no case that is prosecuted without a witness. So again, it flops. How many women are willing to stand as witnesses to their friends when they prosecute this case? It blocks women from also reporting on men.
I wanted to add something, because I think it's very important. For far too long, these issues, the discussion and the response prevention kind of work has been funded by civil society or NGOs. They are the main, the main actors in the space. And that's why I think some of these challenges keep coming up, because you find a situation where maybe you have a very big program running for 5 years that does really a lot of work. But then after 5 years, the funding is finished, then what happens? And one of the things that we have been struggling with in this space is to have government really involved and committing money. Like, we should be able to work with county government, national government, that when they are doing their budgeting processes, we have some of these issues taken care of, because it's the government that will have finances over the years. Donor funding or NGO funding ends. And sometimes it ends at very critical junctures where so many is left unattended, and women are left suffering. A lot of work that has been done is undone by, lack of continuity in programming. So for me, I think the issue of government involvement, and not just coming to launch programs or to give speeches, but to commit finances to ensure that we are able to respond, but also to prevent violence from happening.
Like, for example, yesterday there was, they launched a gender-based violence activity in Kiambu, where the minister, who is my friend, Kariuki Sisiri Commission. But I didn't hear any action plan that she had. She only mentioned that there were many political sexual violence issues, but she did not even critically indicate to us or outline to us, this is what the government wants to do.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
That could have created awareness to the congregation which was there, majority were women, to know that, so we have hope in this ministry. Yeah. The other issue is we need to come up together with the media and the rest of the stakeholders to come up with gender need assessment, gender-based foreign need assessments. What is the most prevalent issues that affect women? Why are they not reporting? What do we do to these people? How do we come in holistically so that we can be able to address gender-based violence? Without that, I think we'll keep on talking, and women will still be silent.
Yes.
We need to establish.
All right, this conversation won't end here. Of course, we're out of time. That was Eunice Waweru to my immediate left, who is the director of Workers' Rights Watch, and Nyambura Gathumbi, who is the program manager at HIVOS East Africa. Remember, this conversation can always continue online. You can always tweet us at KTN News, at Ashley Mazuri, at Zinzi_K. Remember, gender-based violence, it's not only experienced with women, it also trickles down to men. So this conversation will go on next week. We have a lot that we haven't covered, so remember to stay tuned. You can always tweet us early in advance so that we can keep the conversation going on. Zinzi, what do you think about this conversation?
First of all, I am so excited to hear that we got so many phone calls coming through. People sharing their stories, very inspiring, I believe, and really allowing those people who are within such areas to come out and that there's life after that, be it a man or a woman. 2/3 of countries have made sure that they have outlawed domestic violence. I believe as a world, we can get to 3/3.
Yeah, so that winds up Weekend Express. I am Ashley Mazuri. Have a blessed week ahead.
And I'm Zinzi Kibiku. Bye-bye.